Chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the revealed things belong to us and to our children forever, to observe all the words of this law. The word of the Lord.
The Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus is speaking, and he said to his disciples, "Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another, just as I loved you. You also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." The Gospel of our Lord. Please be seated. It's extra hot today. So, seems these readings don't quite fit in our lectionary, but these are the readings that the bishop asked me to pick out for today. So she asked me, what would you like to have for readings? Because today is installation day. She's not here right now. She'll be here for the 10:30, so you get to come back. Because there's another reason to come back, because she's preaching on these same texts, and we'll see how she takes it. So I chose these texts because these are the two texts that I try to live by. These help define things for me. Deuteronomy is nice and short. The secret things belong to the Lord our God. The things revealed belong to us and for our generations to live by the law. That's my catch-all. It's a catch-all. If it has not been revealed to you yet, if it's not revealed in the Bible, don't worry about it. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Keep the main thing, which is the love of God for us in Jesus Christ. Don't worry about what size sandal did Moses have. Does it matter? No. Don't make big things out of little things. But if we look at what Jesus said, we'll see how these two relate. Jesus says, I give you a new commandment. This is not a makeover of a commandment. This is not like flip the house and buy a new house. This is all new, brand spanking new. This is a new commandment. Now, you know that somewhere in the Bible, I hope you've heard this when Jesus was asked, which was a trick to him, which is the greatest commandment? You remember that? And how does Jesus respond? But with two things. Love your Lord with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. And the other is like that, love one another as yourself. But what Jesus says here is a lot different when he talks about love. He's not talking love like you love your iPhone, okay? I'm just saying he's not, okay? And he's not talking about love like you love your family. In Greek, in biblical Greek, there's 4 kinds of love, and he's definitely not talking about eros, which, anybody know what that is? You know, that eros love is a passionate love, okay? He's not talking about that. He's not talking about filial love, which is what you would have for your family. And that has some expectations. You two. I'm going to pick on you. You're the closest right now as a couple. Love each other, right? But you expect him to love you back. And you expect her to love you back. Correct? Not like putting you on the spot. That is a filial love, and there's an expectation that there's a reciprocal of that, okay? But agape love is what is written. There's zero expectation. There's a want, but there's zero expectation. That's the love that God has for us. That no matter what we do, God still loves us. So Jesus, who fulfills all the laws and all the commandments, is about to go and ascend into heaven. He knows he's not going to be with the disciples anymore. He knows he's not going to be there to resolve their differences, their arguments. Which one of us is greater? Can we sit on your right, Jesus? Can we? He is not going to be able to deal with these things anymore in person to those apostles and the disciples, and he is looking to pass something down that will change the world. So he says to love one another, and he gives only one qualification: as I first loved you. Not because you're in the right political party, not because you're from the right social status, not because you're from the right country, not because you're from the right color, not because you're straight or you're gay or anything else. There is zero qualifications to this love other than to love. Period. That doesn't mean we have to like some things that happen, but we are called to love as he first loved us, which is that agape love. He gives us this fresh, new commandment, and it is the most easiest commandment, right? Because loving people is really easy, right? It is simple that he gives us, and it is so complex. It's that two-edged sword, to love one another. That's simply what it is, as I love you. Yet at the same time, it is the most difficult thing to do sometimes. Because some people just make it so difficult to be loved. Travis, if you're listening, I apologize again up front for using you as an example. But my son sometimes makes it difficult for me to love him. He does things, it's like, oh, why did you do that? Now, if my wife was sitting up here, she'd say, yes, Doug, you make it difficult for me too. So the reality is I do too, and he would say that as well. But I love him. What I do tell him sometimes, and he gets a giggle out of it. And I said, you don't have to keep making me love you. Really, you don't. And it's a good thing, though, that I love you, because otherwise I'd have to eat you like animals eat their young. So, I love you. We are called to love no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, no matter period. And that is what we are called here to do. We are saved by grace, and we are Spirit-led to do what? Serve all. Glad you got all those pieces, even though I arranged them differently. But that's what we're called to do. And when we're serving all, we do that in love. We open our doors to everybody that wants to be here. This church has been home to a Roman Catholic church. It has been home to the African American Episcopal Church right now as well. This is home to different AA groups and different recovery groups. This is home to so many different places that they come here. And let's face it, sometimes when we open our homes, muck can come in and things happen that we don't particularly like. There can be dirt sometimes, okay? Just the reality. But we love the people. And maybe somebody leaves piece of paper on the ground or spills something on the ground, because we let them through the doors because we're loving them. But when we see that, we just take care of it because we love them. Doesn't mean we like what happened, but we love them and encourage them and keep asking them to come back. This is who Mountain View is called to be. This is who God calls all of God's people to be. This is who God is calling us to be. I see love here. I feel love here. And not because you're going to get something from me. I hope I can give something back. But you took me in before you even knew who I was. Everybody has been loving to each other, to me, and the people that come inside this door. And they have been loving through all our ministries, Mission Africa, chaplaincy for the homeless, when we do water during the summertime. You name all these ministries that we have, that we support, that we go out and do hands-on as well. You do this in love for God's people, for your fellow brothers and sisters. Because we are all gathered together as a family. And again, we know sometimes family can be difficult. And we don't always get along. But we can still love one another. So when you don't know what to do, you don't know what the answers are, refer back to Deuteronomy 29:29, the catch-all, which says, if it hasn't been revealed, don't worry about it. It's mine, says the Lord. It is mine. It is my secret. Don't worry about it. But it says, refer back to John 13:34, to love one another as I first loved you. That is the law that we live by. That is the law that covers all laws, all commandments, and allows us to be with one another, period. For the sake of the gospel, our crucified and risen Lord. And all God's children said, amen.